Other executive orders. This is fascinating. So, I've spent all week doing this. I'm an exciting guy, right? And I'm going to run them down for you. Got a pen and pad there? This is the time to pick it up so you know what you're talking about if this ever comes up. Now, number one, the Justice Department has now given orders to all U.S. attorneys. So remember, there are districts all over the country, from Alaska to Key West. And in those districts, there are Justice Department officials called U.S. attorneys. And they prosecute federal crimes, right? That's how it's structured. Every U.S. attorney has now been ordered by Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove, B-O-V-E-Y, no Y, B-O-V-E, to look into any state or local official who is not cooperating with federal law. Now, I told you this was going to happen if Trump won. So, Gavin Newsom, the mayor of Boston, New York City officials, on and on and on and on. Governor Pritzker, Illinois. The U.S. attorney is not going to go in and say to them, give me all your records. Give me all the requests that you had from Homeland Security to hold certain migrants who have been arrested or whatever. Give me them. That's going to lead to a lot of trouble. A lot. Can you imagine Pam Bondi, because she'll get confirmed, going up to Boston with handcuffs, put them on Mayor Wu up there? Could happen. So that's the most important executive order coming out. Number two, what's the External Revenue Service? We all know what the Internal Revenue Service is. They take our money. External is to collect the tariffs that Trump is going to impose worldwide. Collect the money, because we have to get the spending down. Okay, so that's in play now. External Revenue Service. Global Minimum Tax Agreement. We're out of it. What is it? So this is the G20, most powerful economic nations in the world, agreeing that the lowest tax on corporations is 15%. The U.S. never signed into that. And now it's out completely. Okay. Paris Climate Accord. This is the Green New Deal stuff. We're out. This is to give money to third world countries to conform with global warming mandates. That money will be stolen across the board, because it always is. So you'll send money to places, I'm not going to name the countries, it's not fair, but you know what I'm talking about. And you say, well, you got to put a few windmills in there or whatever. And they'll go, okay. Never going to see a windmill. Now, this is incredible. Before he left office, Joe Biden pledged $11 billion to the Paris Climate Accord. $11 billion. Gone. Trump's not paying it. World Health Organization. This is attached to the UN. WHO. Now, this got in trouble with COVID because WHO was covering for the Chinese lab in Wuhan. Gone. We're out. Now, we gave the United States $1.3 billion a year to the WHO. Gone. Out. Suspension of foreign aid for 90 days. So the Trump administration wants to look at what countries are getting money from we, the people, taxpayers, and what they're doing with that money. 90 days is not going to be nearly long enough, but no money goes out for 90 days. That, you just have to do the math on this. Our commitment to international aid is $63 billion a year. That's what we send free to other countries. So they're going to look at all that. So all this spending cut will get the debt down, the deficit down. And it's good. I like it. And finally, DEI employees in the federal government. So you may know under Biden, every federal agency had a DEI office, and they were in charge of making sure that people of certain lifestyles, skin colors, got more benefits than other people. That's what DEI is. We give more based on skin color and lifestyle than we would ordinarily give. All of those departments have been suspended by a Trump executive order. And all the people in those departments have been furloughed, but with pay, because most of them are unionized and you can't just cut off their money. Now, down the road, they're going to be fired. 90% of them will be gone, will be fired. But you've got to go through the process. Now, those are the headlines that I have for you today, and I'll have more. Did you know that? Did you know any of that? And particularly you guys who watch cable and network news, did they tell you any of that I just told you? No. I didn't see it. All I heard was, what about this? What about that? Tell me more. What do you make of this? At the end of the day, gibberish. We just gave you solid pieces of information about what Donald Trump is doing in reality, what is real, what is happening. And you don't get that other places. They're too lazy to do it. Now we go on to the big one, Mexico. James Taylor has a song, Mexico. I like the song, okay? I've never really been, but I'd sure like to go. I've been all over Mexico. Beautiful country. Really nice country. Nice folks. The folk, the regular people. It's the most corrupt country I have ever been to. Cuba is close. I've been to Cuba. Close. But Mexico is so corrupt, it's staggering, and I will never go there again. And I don't believe, when my friends tell me, oh, I'm going down to Mexico, I go, what? Why? Number one, you're spending money in a country that's doing damage to your own country every day. And number two, you're putting your own safety in jeopardy. Nobody's going to protect you in Mexico. If something bad happens to you, nobody. All right. So Trump knows all this. And as we reported last night, I've had extensive conversations with him about Mexico. So last year, Mexico sold $500 billion worth of stuff in the USA. Just let that sink in. 500 billion stuff. But Mexico selling in the USA. And here's the kicker. Most people in Mexico are poor. Don't have anything. Yet they sell $500 billion to us. Okay. Now, we didn't sell nearly that in Mexico because people don't have any money. Trump is going, we're going to stop this, and there's going to be a bit more. You know, you buy more stuff from us, or we're going to slap a 25% tariff on you. Now, this is supposed to go into place February 1st. If it does, that'll crush the Mexican economy, destroy it. They'll go into a deep recession very quickly. I don't know whether it will, because Trump uses the threats of tariffs to negotiate. But concurrently, word of the day, he's also said, you Mexican drug cartels are terrorist groups. I have the authority to kill you now. But Donald Trump, as president, can kill any designated member of a Mexican drug cartel without any cooperation from Mexico City. That's how Soleimani got it. If you read my book, Killing the Killers, we go step by step through this. All legal. Congress affirmed it in the war on terror. The terrorists in Mexico, the cartels, do more damage than ISIS and Al-Qaeda combined. They've killed millions of Americans, and Biden allowed it by opening the border and making the drugs easy to smuggle in here. Fentanyl, heroin, methamphetamine, cocaine, on and on and on and on. Our drug addiction problem is through the roof here. 75% of all crimes are done by substance abusers, and the same number of child abuse. Because if you're addicted to substance, you're going to abuse your kid. But I didn't care. Yeah, let everybody in. And cartel says, thank you. And Mexico City, the government there, Obrador, and now Claudia Sheinbaum, they can't do anything against the cartels because their people are all taking money from them. I'm overgeneralizing, but you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't take the cartels' bribes, the cartels will kill your family, including your children. So if you're the mayor of a town or police chief in that town, you have to take the money or you're going to be dead and so is your entire family. Because Mexico City can't protect you. Do we all get this? So Trump wants the migrant stuff to stop, and he'll get that. That's not hard. He's going to get it. You're going to see very few illegal aliens coming into this country under the Trump administration. But the drugs, he's got to start waxing these guys. Drones, special forces, whatever it takes. Because the DEA knows who these guys are, knows where they are. So this Mexico thing, this is a huge story. And I'm on it.